If I told you that there was a non-turn-based card game where you could counter a Jamie from Street Fighter 6 and Frank West from Dead Rising spell with Ada Wong saving Leon from Jack Krauser, you would think I'm talking about a Newgrounds animation.
And the power of 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 the...
But nope, that's real. Hi, my name's Gladiated, but you can call me G. And this is... Released in 2019, happy 5th buddy, you get to learn how to multiply now. A real-time card game featuring just about every Capcom franchise that they've ever had. From the well-known Street Fighter and Mega Man, to Monster Hunter, Resident Evil, Devil May Cry, and shit like Okami and Darkstalkers. They will do anything but release a new Darkstalkers, huh? Also this one, I don't know what it is. And these are just the playable characters. Wait until you see Arthur from Ghosts and Goblins playing dice with Tigray from Phoenix Riot. That's another thing. All this art is so good. Here's some eye candy for you. Don't worry, I'll put it on your tab. Each playable character has 3 abilities to choose from, and it can completely dictate how you play them. Take this for example. I have a Morrigan deck that revolves around her ability to gain life when she uses her skill, so I have a deck built around cards that trigger when life is gained. But I have an Ada Wong deck who has the same attributes, so she has access to the same cards, but her skill swaps a unit on the field with one in your hand, so I have a bunch of cards that do stuff on summon. It's sick. As I said earlier, there's attributes. Red, green, purple, and black. You are allowed to combine them, but your mana pool, the way that you'll be able to summon cards, will be halved. So you can run multiple attributes, but you gotta have a damn good reason to. The mana system itself is something. Like I said, it's a real-time card game, so each player's mana is on a timer. And a card can be played in 1 to 3 lanes if you got the mana. But the spells, aka action cards, work on a separate axis. When one is played, the game pauses, gives both players 2 temporary mana, and passes the action to the opposite player. They can either allow the action card to go through, or play one back, tapping into their temporary mana. But then the opponent can now use their temporary mana to counter back. It's literally Yu-Gi-Oh! Chain Links without you ever having to see number 6 again. Attack and HP explain themselves. If 2 units swing at each other, they each take their attack from their HP, and if a unit loses its HP, it says Juri. Tribute a guy, kill a guy with 6 or more health. It doesn't have a say in it, they can't react to it. It's why wouldn't you just Juri, 6 or more HP for free. Juri your problems, stuff out there light. Just with 1 tribute, you win the fight. Just Juri. The game has rotation, meaning every 3 months the pool of cards changes slightly, but they have a non-rotation format too, so your cards will never go bad. Oh my god, I haven't even talked about the music. Oh. It's so weird because you don't hear much about this game. And looking at the official trailer for the new season, there's even a separate type of card called Overload, where they are hyper broken, like, oh my god. But the downside is that you not only cannot naturally add this card to your hand from playing other cards, it has to be searched or drawn, but it also lowers the amount of mana you gain for a minute. Actual downsides to deck building that changes how you play the game? Imagine that! Also, each character has their own little nonsensical story where they fight 3 other characters. Ryu versus Chun-Li, Dante versus Morgan, Rathalos versus Nope, that's not safe to say. These event modes also pop up, giving you some fun stipulations like each player starting with an extra card in hand, It's a added effects, like any card that searches gets buffed. I don't know, I'm making shit up, but hey, you get paid, it's cool. Here, let me give you a play-by-play of a game as an example of what I'm talking about. So, right off the bat, you can choose to mulligan at the start of each match, which means you can redraw your hand for a new one. But I keep this one for a few reasons. Because I see a Jill with that skill, I immediately assume she's either using the starter deck or a variation from it. So having the ability to play around some of her searchable cards with my action cards is very important, so I keep this one. Since I have Overload, I have to play pretty safe and reserved for the first minute, so I let them take the first move, countering in their lane with my Searcher, which ends up searching a copy of itself. When my Searcher attacks, it gives a unit in my hand more HP. This will be important later. He destroys my Searcher right before his card attacks, and I play another one, grabbing a third copy of itself. You can only run 3 of a single card, I just got robbed. Here I'm on my back foot, but I block an attack with one of my units, which puts another on the field on summon. Then they use the card they searched at the beginning, killing an extra copy and chunking the original. I then use my own card in response, returning them to the extra deck and gain mana for each one that I return. They clap back with the second copy, stopping me from getting 6 mana, and I just gained 3. Tight spot though. I'm still low on mana because Overload hasn't run out, so I have to make a gamble. I play my Overload Searcher and use my skill. If I hit the Overload card in my hand, I have a chance. If it picks the Searcher, I kinda just lose on the spot. Thankfully, I'm goaded and hit the Overload, who gains me 2 mana for each card it kills. So even though I'm down 10 health, I'm still in it. I Victor here, which will damage a random guy for however many tribes I have in hand, which kills their Ken instantly. And they pop their skill, which stops me from snowballing for a while. Some time passes and I Dimitrescu, so when I play a card I gain mana, and when a card dies, I also gain mana. Just keeps me from falling behind. Also, Overload has worn off, so we're on equal footing now. They desperately need to get rid of my Overload card, so they do. And I place a unit where it died to keep the pressure up. I honestly shouldn't have, because if I waited a second for my Searcher to die, I could have drawn an extra card. But who's gonna complain about having a 3/7? A couple cards here and there, and they pop a skill on Ken, which I should have juried immediately, but took my sweet ass time for no reason. I wipe the board, they try buffing their hand, I negate it, they buff their card, I let it rock, Victor, and we both sit there for a while to regain mana. I pop skill since I'm sitting on enough for 2 activations, so I can save Victor for later. Kills my Juri, I block it, they shield their unit, I get rid of it, they try destroying my unit but are short 1 damage. They take a hit to gain some mana, block a second attack, and search a buff at the same time. I fill the other lanes, they wipe my board, but I notice a little something. When an action card is used, you can actually see the opponent's mana. Not including their temporary mana, they're currently sitting on 1. So I just,
Stage is set for the final. Looks like we have the upper hand here.
If you're worried about any one character attribute being bad, don't worry, you'll always be able to find something to complain about. If you want to just sweep off the bat, the game gives you a starter deck that is incredibly good. Seriously, it can easily take it to the top rank without any changes. And thanks to Google Play Games Beta, it's fully compatible with PC. What's something else interesting? E-Honda dressed as a robot? I don't know, I got nothing else. If you play Infinite Coral, you're a bad person. Just go play the game. Bye. Now I'm gonna play that.
It looks like we have the upper
I
hand
can't hear
here.
it. That peaceful
I
sound.
feel like I'm about to get, like, boned by something.
Nothingness is coming.
No, absolutely not. I don't know what that was. We're not dealing with it. Nope, 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 nope.